Hello and welcome back to our channel, Live to Eat. I am excited. As promised, I am going to prepare for you Caribbean stewed chicken. So let's get started. Okay, so as we get started, I wanted to let you know that Caribbean style chicken is heavily seasoned. So I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to add to the chicken. Here I have 6 pieces of thighs that we will stew, and first we'll season them. So here we have half a teaspoon of Creole seasoning. Can you see that? Half a teaspoon of Creole season, half a teaspoon of cumin, a little bit more than half a teaspoon of salt, and I like the flavor to burst out on the chicken, so I've added actually a half or an 1/8 teaspoon of our chicken flavor bouillon. Losing my gloves there. And in here, or on this, I actually have half a teaspoon of black pepper, and to give it some color, I'm also going to show you another way to give color, but this is half a teaspoon of paprika, and then half a teaspoon of diced or minced onions, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And for sauteing the chicken, I will use 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And then to brown the chicken, I'm actually going to use half a teaspoon, like 3/4 teaspoon of sugar. And in preparing the chicken, I also like to add a different style or cut of onions. So as the chicken is cooking, I've already prepared my my onions and bell pepper and tomatoes. And to saute the chicken, I have some diced onions and diced garlic. And then here we have, I'm gonna chop this up into cubes. It's 1 medium-sized potato. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna put all that seasoning together, and then I'm gonna start cooking. I've added all the seasoning onto the chicken, and just getting that all rubbed in there so that each piece has all the same flavor. Smelling good. I think the one seasoning that stands out in this one is actually the cumin. I can smell it. It smells good already. Okay, that looks good to me. And typically I would marinate this for about 30 minutes just so that it can hold the seasoning. And I know that sometimes you can put a couple slits onto the pieces of meat so that the inside absorb. And usually when I'm cooking, preparing ahead of time, I would do that. But for the sake of this video and getting it done, I just went ahead and seasoned it all. Make sure each piece has enough seasoning so that it's tasty. Okay? Okay. Once the pot is hot, we'll go ahead and add in the coconut oil. So this is 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Check the pot to see if it's hot. Then we add in the oil. And we're gonna let that heat up a little bit before we add in the sugar. I like to lift it up and give it a stir so that it can evenly disperse, and you can see that it's evenly all on the bottom of the skillet. So once that's heated up, I can add in the sugar. Okay, that's heated up, and I'm ready to add in the sugar. this process right here, this step right here is what we call browning. So this is what's going to give the chicken that beautiful brown color. Just delicious. Okay? After we add the sugar, then we add the chicken pieces. One at a time. I might have enough space, I might not have enough space. Yeah, I'm gonna have enough space. Here we go. Now that the chicken is added in here, you wanna brown them on each side for about 3 minutes on each side. So I'm gonna flip this in about 3 minutes. Now that that's brown on that side, and just because I was looking at the timer to be specific, it's 5 minutes on each side for it to get brown. And I want to show you what that looks like. If I can get it. See, that looks nice and brown. Look at that. So you just flip it over so that the other side can get that color. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. All the spices, that aroma, it just smells delicious. So that's been cooking for about 5 minutes, actually 6 minutes. And both sides are actually brown. So there we have it. That's the step to brown the chicken. Now we just have to let the chicken cook thoroughly through and through, and then we're gonna add in the vegetables. At this time, we're gonna add in the chopped, the diced garlic and the chopped onions. Okay, so we're gonna add that in now so that that will saute with the chicken, and then we're gonna add in some of the liquid or water so that the chicken can continue cooking through and through. Okay, so here we're gonna add in the garlic. That's just 1 clove of garlic. Get that in there so that we can saute just right there in the middle. And then this is about 1/4 of a small onion diced up there. Pretty much I used 3/4, just about 3/4 or half of a medium onion, I should say. So we want that to give flavor so that when the chicken is cooking, it adds flavor to it. It smells good, guys. It smells really good. And as you can see, the chicken has water, or there's water in here. As the chicken cooks, it releases water. I will still need to add some water to this so that it could continue cooking and not burn. And then I'd say another 5 minutes or so. Let this cook. Let all those good flavor marinate together. Then I'm gonna cover it, and there should be double the water supposedly when I uncover it. Okay, so for now I'm gonna let this cook for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna come and check it. Okay, uncover the pot. For now I'm gonna cover it because the chicken is brown on both sides, so I don't need to leave it open, and I want it to cook. So again, it's on medium heat, my number 3 on my stove, and I'm going to cover it. Okay, so we'll be back in 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna so that it marinates with some more of the vegetables, I'm gonna add the tomatoes. This is 1 Roma tomatoes, and this is about 1/4 of a green bell pepper. Okay, so we're gonna check on this and we're gonna let it cook, and then we're gonna check again in another, I'll say 10 minutes this time, and I'll be watching the clock as it's going pretty fast. And look at that gravy, guys. Look how brown and delicious that looks. Look at that gravy, just the way I like it. And honestly, we typically eat this with, you can eat this with white rice. On Sundays, we actually eat this with the rice and beans, which is what I showed you all how to do on the first video I made. Okay, so as this continues to marinate and just mix in that mixture of vegetable, that tomato flavor, and that bell pepper flavor, we'll let it cook in another 10 minutes, and I'll check on it. And at that point, we'll add the onion. Okay, guys, you can hear it. The water is getting a little bit low, but you can hear it sizzling, and that's a good sign. And you can see all the vegetable marinade in there, just making the aroma and getting all that seasoning together to give that chicken a tasty, delicious flavor. So now we're gonna add in the potatoes, and we're gonna let it cook for another 10 minutes or so. You might need to add in a little bit of water, so just add it in as needed. Right now, I don't think we need it, but I'll come and check this again in the next 5 minutes, and I'll add water if I need to, okay? But for now, it looks good. Everything seems to be cooking. And occasionally I have been flipping. So in the last video, the last 5 minutes, it's the last 15 minutes actually, I flipped the chicken over, the thighs over, so that it cook evenly on both sides, okay? So look at that. Just that goldeny brown. Makes me want to eat it. So I did add in 1/2 cup of chicken broth and 1/2 cup of water, and I'm gonna cover it again and let so that the potatoes now can cook and get all that flavor. Okay, it's been another 10 minutes or so, and at this point I'm going to add in my favorite. It's the actual cut onions. Can you see that? Onions. I like to slice the onions this way, and get it all in there. And as the chicken is about to be fully cooked, I like to serve this on my, either if I eat it with rice, just plain white rice, or with rice and beans. However, I just like the taste of the sliced onions that's been marinated or cooked in this stew here. Okay, so I just add that to the top, and then this is gonna cook for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll show you the finished stewed chicken, Caribbean stewed chicken, and what it looks like. Okay, so I'm all excited. It's almost to the end, and I can't wait to try it. I think it's another 5 minutes and we can plate this and enjoy. So just look at the onions. Look at that delicious onions, my favorite. And the potatoes, The secret to cooking them quickly is you just have to dice them up or chop them up small enough so that within 30 minutes or so they're done. So I am going to turn this off and put in a plate and then enjoy. Okay guys, now here is the finished product. Chicken thighs with the onions that I love and the potatoes, and I made some rice to go with this, so for the try. My mouth is watering just thinking about this first bite. So delicious, guys. You should try it. Caribbean stewed chicken with onions, potatoes, bell peppers, tomato. A plate full of deliciousness. And here you have it. Thanks for watching. Like this video, share this video. Try this recipe and hope you like it and hope you enjoy it. Until next time.